So hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, another video, and today I will try and answer a question that I've been getting quite a lot since I've started releasing Firefall videos. And the question is very simple, it's very short. Why Firefall? You know, there is many different games that I could play and I just chose Firefall. Well, let's just say it like this. I've been looking for a game like Firefall for a very long time. A very long time. I do believe the first thought that I had about a game like this when I played the first Unreal game. Not Unreal Tournament. The first Unreal game. The single player Unreal game. That was the first one. I think it was in the first stage. And I thought to myself, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I could play this with other people? And we could play against the AI. You know, a PvE focused MMOFPS. Which is what Firefall is. You know, that's what it is. So I've been looking for a game like Firefall for a very long time. Now PlanetSide almost made it in terms of what I was looking for, but it was just PvP focused, and when you can't get a good grip, PlanetSide is actually quite frustrating. When you get into an outfit and you have a platoon and you're rolling around with friends, it's good, but you know, sometimes you don't have that. You know, so with PlanetSide, I was either playing with friends or I wasn't playing at all. With Firefall, I can do some stuff alone, which is good. And I generally prefer PvE when it comes to MMOs. I don't like PvP that much. I like PvP shooters. I played quite a lot of Counter-Strike 1.5 and then 1.6. But once again, I've played with a team, and Counter-Strike is a very tactical game. It's not that much about your skill, how good you are. It helps if you're a good shot, it helps, but the tactics and, you know, just stuff like that, cunning and flanking and stuff like that is a lot more important than actually being good at, you know, being a good shot. So I just like PvE more, or tactical team-based games when it comes to shooters. So that's the first thing. The second thing, the graphical style, you know, the aesthetics, it looks very good. Now, it's not just that, ooh, it's pretty. I don't really care about graphical fidelity. I like the art style and generally what they're going for with Firefall. Now, it's not, as I've said, it's not just it looks good, I like the look of it, but graphic styles like this allow the developers to go for some wacky stuff. Like the boss you can see right now would be just dull if it was a, you know, super realistic, you know, grim dark graphic style. But here you can have just it's a crazy thing. It's kind of a mixture between a spider and a mosquito. It fires rockets and lasers. And if it was just uber super realistic, it would not look as cool as it does right now. And the design for some monsters can be downright wacky as well, which is always good to see. When you have a super realistic graphic style, the developers just don't have the just the model palette, I would say, to just make some interesting enemies. They all look the same. They all have to be grim dark. You know, that's not fun. I don't want to look at a depressing game. I want a game that looks just fun, you know, and it's colorful. You know, just grim dark games are just too depressing for me to play. I don't like them. So that's the second thing. The third thing is the focus of the game. It's not you need to level up to max level and then run raids if you want gear, or do PvP if you want the best gear. The loot system works on the Diablo principle, where stuff just drops and it's either good or shite, which is accompanied by the salvage system, where everything you get you can salvage and you turn it into useful material, so you never feel like you're wasting time. Even if you're running around and you're getting gray items, you know you can salvage them, you can get crystite, and with that you can research new equipment and then craft it. This game has a very high focus on crafting the molecular printers. Let's just take a look at that, shall we? So here I'm just salvaging some random stuff. I got a couple of weapons from a couple of events I did this morning, so I'm just gonna salvage them. I'm also gonna do some of the junk stuff that's not really useful at all. The weapons are not useful either. I'll click salvage and bam, there we go. I got a bunch of resources that I can now use to craft or to barter and do stuff with them. I'll move to the molecular printer in a second. There we go. Good job, me. And there you see I have currently 4 things in working. Actually 3, one just finished. Now there are 3 things you can do. You can refine, which you can refine ores and items that drops from enemies. Then there is the crafting part, obviously. You can craft every single thing that you need. And it's actually very good to craft your own equipment, because the equipment you craft is actually very good. It is really, really good. It's not the WoW level of crafting where you just make things because you need to level up. There is no skill level up. If you have the research points which you get from salvaging and from crafting, and the crystite which you generally get for everything, you can create anything you want. And if you have the level required, you can equip it. Now, there you can see, this is the Acorn Engineer skill tree. This is for basically crafting skills for the Acorn Engineer. Every skill is an item you can equip. It has different stats, and you can mix and match them between your class and the basic class. So, for instance, I'm the Engineer Bastion, but I can also use the Acorn Engineer abilities as well. If I was an Engineer Electron, I could use the Electron skills and the Acorn Engineer skills. There are also thumpers you can craft. There are health packs, there are ammo packs, steam packs, and just everything. You can craft weapons, you can craft cores for your a battle frame, you can craft all the abilities. You can just craft bloody everything in this game, and it's highly recommended to do so, because usually the stuff you find in the world by just exploring and doing events is worse than the stuff you can create. Now, as you may or may not know, there are multiple different classes, or as they're called, battle frames in this game, and it's actually beneficial for you to play different battle frames, not just one battle frame. Now, as you can see from the Engineer, we have the Engineer, Electron, and Bastion. We have the Assault, Tiger Claw, and Firecat, Dreadnought, Mammoth, Rhino, and the one that I can't remember right now. Then we have the Biotech, Dragonfly, and the Recluse, the Recon, Nighthawk, and Raptor. Now, generally, every single one of those is different in some way. So for the Engineer, the Acorn Engineer, the basic class, is the one with the most supportive skills. The Bastion, which I'm playing and is my favorite battle frame, is focused on heavy turret firepower, good defensive capabilities. And then we have the Electron, which is very offensive and once again pretty supportive as well. So we have the Acorn Engineer, which is the most supportive. Then we have the Electron, which is the most offensive. And then we have Bastion, which is the most defensive one. Now, why is it beneficial for you and actually kind of required to play multiple frames at once, you know, with the same character? And it's really the same character, you just change a battle frame. You have the same equipment, you have everything you had before you changed the battle frame. So, the way to unlock the advanced frames, because in the beginning you will just get the Engineer, the Assault, the Dreadnought, the Biotech, and the Recon. The way to unlock these is to get one of those frames up to level 40, where you will get 10 pilot tokens and you can unlock one more frame. You can unlock one of the additional frames. And once again, once you get that frame up to level 40, you can unlock another frame. Or you can do what I did, which is I bought the Bastion, I bought the Firecat, the Recluse, and the Nighthawk with real money. Now, it's not that expensive. Or you can change crystite into credits, and then you can change credit into red beans, which you can then use to purchase these frames as well. Because everything that's in the in-game shop can be actually acquired without spending a penny. You can exchange. It's kind of like what Guild Wars 2 did. You can exchange crystite, which you get from pretty much everything, into credits, and then you can change credits into red beans. And then you can buy shiny stuff. Now we come to the benefit part. So I'm playing a Bastion, and there is a perk system in this game, where every class has its own set of perks. And you will get perk points as you level up, and you can spend perk points and acquire perks. So I'm playing Bastion, which is a heavy turret-oriented class. Not very mobile, very stationary class. But once you set up your turret nest, you are a beast. Now, the perk that increases damage of your turrets and deployables in general comes from an engineer. So, in order to get this perk, I need to get an engineer frame up to level 30. Otherwise, I can't use this perk. So, when you want to get a Bastion, you can level up the engineer, where you will get some perks that will actually help your Bastion once you get it. Okay, once you get your engineer to level 40, you have all the perks you need for your Bastion, plus you have the pilot tokens to buy the Bastion frame. And since the world is very dynamic, it doesn't feel very samey leveling again. As you can see, I've leveled the Bastion, I'm leveling Firecat, I'm leveling Recon, I'm leveling Recluse. You know, I'm leveling many different battle frames at once, and I'm doing different things with them. It doesn't feel like I'm playing the same thing over and over and over again. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, now we move on to the world and the events in the world, which I quite like as well. So in this clip you can see me defending a satellite. Why am I defending a satellite? Well, the bad guys with red symbols above their heads are chosen. These are the bad guys of the game, you know, the baddest of the bad guys. Rude dudes, as Shin would call them probably. So we are defending this location because these buggers had taken one of our cities, and we need to take it back by charging up some satellites and doing some stuff and defending. Now they are swarming every single position. There are, I think, 4 of those positions that we need to defend and let the satellite charge before we can take back the city. So we're doing just that. We're getting swarmed. We're desperately trying to win this because we don't want to lose a city. And we really want it back because there is shiny stuff there. There are molecular printers, there are battle frame stations, battle frame garages, vendors and stuff like that. We don't want to lose that. So we are defending this position and we're just trying to take back what is rightfully ours. Now, this is not the only event, obviously. There are many different events. There are the job boards, which is kind of your traditional questing system. You go to a job board, you click, you will get a quest, you do this, you do that, you do that, you will get shinies. Done. Then we have Ares missions, which are kind of like random events. They will randomly spawn, and they're just a random quest. You get there, and you get a voice comm saying, oh, look, they did this. Do that, kill they ass, and we fine. Once again, you get shinies. Then we have melding tornadoes, massive tornadoes where you can destroy the melding shards orbiting the tornado whilst defending against waves of melded enemies. Then you need to destroy the tornado core, and then a portal will open and it will take you into a melding pocket which is full of goodies and baddies. You need to get out before it implodes and you die. Simple as that. Then we have the hazardous research you can see on the map. You know, tower gone. They have it, buggers. And we have the hazardous research events, which end tomorrow, I do believe. There are a couple of them, but they are not relevant because they end tomorrow, but that's one of the events, the crystal. You throw a sonic detonator on it, then you have to defend 4 points. Well, it's actually 1 to 4. Depends on the level range of the zone that you're in. Then you have to defend them, it will charge something up, and you will get shinies. But they're not relevant, as I've said, because they end tomorrow. Then we have the small things like the mini-bosses. You will get a screen shake, suddenly you will get a new waypoint, seismic activity detected. You go there, you do thing, a mini-boss spawns, you kill, you get shiny. Then we have another type of Ares missions, which is a broken LGV and a crashed thumper. The crash thumper is very simple. You interact with it, it will explode into 5 parts. You need to bring the 5 parts back. It will repair the thumper. It will fly off. You get Chinese. And the broken LGV, there is a, I think, 50% chance that if you interact with it, it will explode and you will get some salvage rewards immediately. If it doesn't explode, you have to defend it for, I think, 3 minutes. And then it's, done and you get Chinese once again. And that's not everything. I can't really remember everything, but there is a lot of stuff to do. There are some bandit camps, some thug camps, and just random stuff. And you can also thump, which is the main way to get resources and just items in general. What I think is the most interesting for me is the fact that this is a community-driven game to some degree, where if people decide we're not gonna do events, the world's gonna get fucked. It's gonna get taken by Chosen. And, you don't have any cities. Why you don't have cities? Because you lazy. It's as simple as that. You will never see anything like that in WoW. So, it's something different. It's something different. And I like it. So once again, I thank you all for watching. The link to Firefall will be in the description. You can check it out. It's a free-to-play game, So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.